Welcome back to Module 2. Today we're going to talk about small and medium-sized private jets. So very light jets, and medium-sized, and you'll even hear about super medium-sized private jets. So we're going to review some of the common aircraft that are available for charter today, as well as the manufacturers of those aircraft. What's exciting is there's a lot of new aircraft coming out all the time. For example, on this slide, the new Honda jet, and we'll have a video for you in this course to see what that new aircraft is all about. That's actually going to be manufactured here in the United States. So very light jets, they call VLJs and light jets. So a majority of the private jet flights will occur in very light jets or light jets here in the United States and certainly over in Europe. A very light jet is known as an entry-level jet or a personal jet, and previously known as a microjet, and is a category of small business jets approved for single pilot operation. And they'll typically seat 4 to 8 people, often with a maximum takeoff weight of under 10,000 pounds. In charter operations, quite frequently, they're going to require even 2 pilots in VLJs, but they're really designed for more of a personal type jet for an entrepreneur or business owner who's typically graduating from flying a twin engine airplane like a Beech King Air that we took a look at in the previous unit, and then move up into a VLJ. But the aircraft are available for charter, and we're going to take a look at a couple of them. But going back into 1964 is with business aviation, and one of the first aircraft that came available was the Learjet, and that was the Learjet 23. And so that really got business aviation going. And geez, the Lear 23s I think still were available to charter not too long ago. But most of these aircraft will be flown with 2 pilots under Part 135. Typically seat 4 to 8 passengers. So one of the first aircraft we'll take a look at in this unit is the Eclipse 500, and the new modern Eclipse is the 550. Eclipse Aerospace was bought out by One Aviation, and they're based out of Superior, Wisconsin. But this aircraft is more of a just kind of a short distance, going to Los Angeles, say to Vegas, and it can take 4 passengers. Fortunately, can't carry all that much baggage, but it can take enough, say, for a weekend trip. Skis, that kind of thing, can be problematic for an aircraft like this. But for kind of a weekend getaway aircraft for charter, it's a nice airplane. It's affordable, and typically goes out a little over $2,000 per flight hour. So 4 passengers, 2 pilots, and in a range of just under 1,300 miles. More of a popular VLJ is the Phenom 100, operated by a couple of big charter air carriers. And this will seat 4 passengers also, 2 pilots, and has a little bit more of a range than the Eclipse with 1,356 miles. And it is manufactured by Embraer out of Brazil. And there's a sister ship called the Phenom 300 that's a larger aircraft. But as far as a VLJ, these Phenom 100s are available for charter. Now getting into more of the light jet category, Cessna, which is owned by Textron Aviation and based out of Wichita, Kansas, is probably the largest manufacturer of business jets in the world, certainly in the light and medium jet class. And the first jet that came available from Cessna was the Cessna Citation 1. And if you look at all the different variations and different models of jets available, you can all see where they came from as far as the original Citation 1. But there's quite a few models available, and one includes the CJ3, which is the Cessna Jet 3 Plus. And this particular model goes out for about $3,000 per flight hour. And there are CJ1s, CJ2s, and CJ3s, and I believe CJ4 aircraft now available. But they'll hold up to 8 passengers, 2 pilot seats, and have a little bit of a range of over 2,000 nautical miles. Another popular light jet is produced by Beech, and Beech Jet being owned by Textron Aviation also out of Wichita, Kansas. And the Beech Jet 400 is what we're looking at right here. Again, goes out for about $3,000 per flight hour, can seat 7 to 8, 2 pilot seats, and a range of a couple thousand nautical miles. Lear. Lear used to be its own company, but was eventually bought out by Bombardier out of Canada. But the Lear product itself is based out of Wichita, Kansas. And this is a Lear 45. It's considered what they call a super light jet. And again, charters out about $3,000 per flight hour. Seats 8 and 2 pilots and a range of about 2,000 nautical miles. So the key thing with most of the light jets is that they're great for, say, a West Coast type trip, East Coast. And you can fly them cross country, and they are flown cross country quite often. But they most likely are going to need at least one fuel stop. In the wintertime, going from east to west against the jet stream, you're going up against 100-mile-per-hour winds at altitude. So these aircraft may need to do, in some cases, maybe even need to do 2 fuel stops. But going from west to east with a tailwind, most likely just 1 fuel stop. And a lot of these aircraft will have a lavatory on board, but just really kind of limited as far as baggage space, taking skis and that kind of equipment. But great for a business trip for a day, or a day trip or weekend trip with most of these light jets. Now getting to a mid-size aircraft, we're taking a look at a couple of them, but one of the more popular aircraft is the Hawker 800. Again, a Beech product owned by Textron Aviation. And this workhorse will carry about 8 passengers, 2 pilot seats, and has a pretty good range of almost 3,000 miles. 2,750, and we'll charter out a little bit more at $3,300 per flight hour is kind of an average price. But this aircraft will give you more baggage space, just a little bit more comfort and room, and is very popular for, say, business trips and flying a group of executives, say for a road show around the country domestically. But just a good solid airplane if you're trying to do a coast-to-coast trip. Winter months, it might have to do a fuel stop going east to west, but most of the time going west to east, no, it's a non-stop type of flight. A really beautiful aircraft is the Citation 10, and it's actually considered a super mid-sized jet. Again, a Cessna product out of Wichita and owned by Textron. This aircraft will go out at over $4,000 per flight hour, but we'll see 8 and has 2 pilot seats and a range, pretty good range there of over 3,700 miles, which makes it a nice coast-to-coast airplane and lots of comfort. But the key with this aircraft is it's one of the fastest, if not the fastest, business jets, and it can fly just under Mach 1. And it's one of the only aircraft that I've been able to charter to my clients that could fly out of Los Angeles, fly to the East Coast, have a quick meeting, and get back the same day and fly under 10 hours to keep the crew within their 10-hour daily limit that we talked about in our regulation unit. But really, really neat aircraft. And then Dassault Aviation de France has the Falcon line, and this is a Falcon 50, which is also considered a super mid-sized jet. Goes out over $4,500 per flight hour, a little bit more. And the reason for that, if you look at the picture on the left, is it has 3 engines. So a nice aircraft to, say, fly to Hawaii out of the west coast of the U.S. Can seat 9 to 10, range of over 4,000 miles, but nice to have that 3rd engine, but does definitely burn more fuel, so that's why it's more expensive to charter. So in this unit, we reviewed some of the popular very light jets, mid-sized jets, and super mid-sized jets utilized in the air charter business. So the VLJs and light jets are useful for regional flights, but can be utilized for domestic trips, but may require 1 or 2 fuel stops for cross-country trips. Mid-sized jets typically have the range to fly cross-country, especially the super mid-sized aircraft that have a longer range, like the Falcon 50, where you can fly west coast of Hawaii. So in the next unit, we're going to review some of the large jets and VIP airliners that are commonly utilized in the air charter industry. Thanks a lot.